Hi, I'm Mark from Everything Summer Camp. I'm going to show you how to remove and replace the tray ledge in your trunk. The tray ledge is this black strip of plastic. There's one that runs across the back of the trunk and one that runs across the front of the trunk. So the first thing you need to determine is how the tray ledge was installed in your trunk. There's three possibilities. In this instance, this tray ledge was installed behind this piece of metal trim. And the way that you can determine that is you'll see no gap whatsoever. If you run your finger along there, you're just going to hit that piece of metal trim. The other way that it could be installed is below that piece of metal trim. If that's the case, you will see a gap there. If it was just installed below the piece of metal trim, then it was either attached with screws. You'll be able to see 3 screws across that piece of tray ledge, if that's the case. And if you don't see any screws, then you know that it was installed with a 2-sided tape. So those are the 3 methods of which your tray ledge may be attached to your trunk. So if your tray ledge was installed with screws, they're going to be small screws just like that, probably black, probably 3 of them in a piece of tray ledge. You're just going to take a Phillips screwdriver or a cordless drill and simply remove those screws. Now, if your tray ledge is installed below this piece of metal groove here, and you don't see screws, that means it was installed with 2-sided tape. You're just going to use a putty knife similar to this, and I'm going to just have you work underneath that piece of tray ledge all the way across, and you're just going to break that seal. Once you remove the tray ledge, there'll probably be some residue of 2-sided tape left that you'll need to use that putty knife on, because I want to have you get all of that off before you install the new piece of tray ledge. Now in this instance, like we said earlier, this tray ledge is installed behind this metal groove. And so the way that we're going to remove that is with a utility knife. We're going to position that utility knife right at the bottom of that metal groove, and we're going to drag it along, cutting through the plastic tray ledge. So kids, utility knives are very sharp. Make sure you're having a parent do this part. And parents, you're going to, as I was saying, you're going to swipe across the tray ledge right below this piece of metal groove, kind of use that piece of metal groove as your guide. You're going to have to swipe across multiple times. I mean, it may take 10, 12 times of coming across there before this is ready to let loose. You can give it a little bit of a tug and see if it's see if it seems to be loosening, and just keep coming across there. You may even hear some plastic cracking as you're coming across, and then eventually, after you've made enough swipes, you're just gonna pull up and snap that plastic off, and now we're ready to install our new tray ledge. Okay, so we're ready to install tray ledge now. And you're going to have 2 pieces with dowels, 2 pieces without. You're going to take one with a dowel and one without a dowel, and you're going to connect those 2 pieces together. So there's a hole here on this piece of tray ledge. You're just going to put that dowel inside of there. And then we have 2 pieces of 2-sided tape, one on each section of the tray ledge. We're going to remove the backing from each of those pieces. And then we're going to insert that into the trunk. So you want to insert your tray ledge at about a 90-degree angle, because we don't want that 2-sided tape to touch the wood side of the trunk yet. We also want to install it centered. So what I'm going to do now, so I can see it centered from side to side, there'll be a small gap at both the right and left side of the trunk. I'm going to drag this plastic up until it contacts that metal piece of groove, and then with it contacting that metal piece of groove, I'm just going to slowly bend it downwards until my 2-sided tape comes into contact with the side of the trunk. Then just apply some pressure so that that 2-sided tape sticks. You are going to have a little bit of a gap between this metal trim and the tray ledge, and that's fine. Okay, so now that 2-sided tape is adhering very well, And you should be good with just the two-sided tape. You want to let that cure for about 24 hours before you put any real weight on top of there. So if you have like a glide and go tray or something like that, wait to put the glide and go tray on for 24 hours. The other thing you can do is we're going to send you some small black Phillips screws, and you can install those with either a Phillips screwdriver or a cordless drill, and just space those evenly across the tray ledge, and that's going to really reinforce that. And then, so once you have that installed, then just repeat for the front side of the trunk if necessary.